Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. So today we are doing a set of shops that are in Windenburg and kind of using some old Tudor style houses that have been converted into little different boutique shops and interesting things for your Sims to go and explore while they're in the town centre. So the lot itself is set up as a cafe, so there is a little coffee barista thing that's in one of the shops. So it is going to be somewhat functioning, but there is a lot more things to actually do on this lot than it just being a cafe. Or if you get to work, then you could set it up as being whatever type of retail store you want it to be. So each building is supposed to be a different sort of style, but all in keeping with our Tudor style. So they've all got their own little characteristics, and they've got a nice little balcony area at the top. It's kind of inspired by a building that I saw the other weekend when it was bank holiday weekend, and also some of the shopping places that I like when I go out and about places. I've actually named it after one that I do enjoy, so you have to look that up unless you know where it is. But we're using some of the old vampire bricks and stuff to put around the place, because I always can never find the matching floor texture that they use about the place, and it really annoys me when I can't match them up, because I just want it to be the same, but it never is, and it makes me sad. But each building has its own little different version of the get together stuff. So try to make each building look different, even though they are all exactly the same. We'll get to see a few of the insides as well for the bottom buildings, but we do a little build tour at the end, so you can have a look at all the different buildings. Also do stuff around the back as well, so they've got like little delivery places and stuff like that. So this week I have been to a museum that I wanted to go to for a while. I keep walking past it. It is the Zoological Museum on Gower Street, the uni where UCL is down there. But I always wondered how you actually get into that building, because there's what looks like to be an entrance at the front of the building, which you think is the front of the building, whereas actually you go in like the side, which is the front of the building. But anyway, we went and had a little look round, and it's quite a small little like museum that has like like Victorian animal stuff in it, so if you don't like that sort of stuff. But it's not as bad as one museum we went to called the Gordon Museum, which was horrendous because it's just filled with formaldehyde jars full of human body parts, which is always wonderful and smells wonderful and doesn't make you want to skip your lunch at all when you go to that museum. I don't know why we went. I hate biology, but it wasn't as bad as that. There was a few interesting things and some really creepy things, like a jar of moles just all packed in there, and it looked like they were kind of trying to crawl out over the top of each other. It was really a little bit disturbing, but it was a fun little trip. I now know how to get in the building. That is one thing, and if I ever decide that I am that bored again that I can go back and have a look around again without having a group of people there as well. We went as a little group to do something fun. So that was a nice day out, a little bit of a change of scenery. So actually putting in, to change topic as I do, once we actually get to an interesting part of the build, even though it's probably all interesting. But we put all the roofs on. I try to mix up the roofs as well, just to make it look as though they're all different aged buildings. Some of them have still got the thatch on them, and some of them have got some different aged tiles and stuff like that. So we're putting in the windows, which kind of gives you the characteristics of the building or the shop that it might be. So the one at the front uses all the get famous stuff is going to be our boulangerie. And we're going to have fancy cakes and all sorts of stuff like that. And then we've got a few modern ones that are supposed to be, that they've renovated a little bit and tried to make it fancy. And then we've got a one that's an industrial one, which was probably my favourite shop to make, because that one was quite fun. And then we've got a few ones that mix some of the old and the new together, just trying to personalise each kind of place for their own shop. The ones upstairs have smaller windows and stuff as well, because they are a little bit more private shops and have a few smaller stuff and a few different various different styled windows as well, depending on how modern they are compared to the rest of the place. Because we've got one on the end there, which we'll see later on, that turns into our little karaoke bar that's up there, because you might as well throw in as much fun stuff for the Sims to do as possible. But that one's super modern with like an open glass windows everywhere, and then we've got like the one next to it which has like 60s windows or a bit more 20s windows, to be a completely different shop. And we've got like church windows and all sorts of fun stuff. Then the archway, the little walkway, we have some of the supports up there as well, because that is supporting a whole shop, so it's probably important to have some sort of support in there. And also put the brace on there as well, because I thought it'd be quite a nice detail, kind of if the building is a little bit unstable, then we've got at least some way of protecting it. And trying to find some like shop signs. I do throw in a few that I had to find in the menu itself, because I knew we got a load in City Living, and I wanted to find the correct one for the correct thing. Also awnings as well, just to make it look shop enough, because you needed some sort of nice things to put on the side of buildings, otherwise it gets super flat. And I also have a little billboard as well, which I put a little vet clinic thing on the side, just to advertise a building or a service that you could add in yourself or is part of the town as well, but they're advertising in this section as well. And remembering to add some more doors on. I don't know why I put that glass door on that part, especially as the building it turns into. So first of all, we are going to work on the boulangerie. This is where our cafe status thing that we have to fill in, well, check off, to actually make it a proper functioning lot is in. So it's got our little barista thing, and also it has all like the pastries and stuff in there as well. So that was a nice thing to put in here, especially as I tried to fill it as much with cakes and all of the stuff as well. So there is a lot of live edit objects in here and hidden objects, because I needed to find ones that actually had cupcakes, and I think there's bread as well that I put on, so they will not disappear. But I don't know whether Sims will be able to come and pick them up. And using some of the dog treats as like biscuits and breadsticks and all sorts of stuff like that, because I tried putting down like slices of cake, but obviously they don't appear, so I had to spend a good while trying to find what was actually usable as well. I felt quite nice to put some like packaging and stuff up as like different, like vanilla essence or some sort of baking stuff, especially now that the Bake Off is back as well. I actually did a Bake Off tent build, like as one of my first builds on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, I'll probably remember to put an iCard in after, if you're watching in the UK, if there is anyone in the UK watching this video and watching Bake Off, let me know who you think is gonna win. At the moment, my favorite is Helena. She is pretty cool, and she is literally makes stuff like, I think this week she made like chocolate spider like bursting out and stuff, and her last thing she was trying to make like a bat wing cake, so she was having fun with her stuff, and it's all like completely different to everyone else, so I love it. I hope she gets quite far. And then I think my other favourite at the moment is the Scottish guy with the clear glasses. He is pretty cool as well, but it's only like the second week, so you can never tell who is actually going to be any good or who who is not as good, because obviously people have different skills and are good at different things. So we've now put in a few mirrors and stuff and trying to make it like super fancy, and we've got marble floor. I thought doing some extravagant wallpaper was slightly over the top. I think I actually go for like one wall that's wallpapered, and then we use the little bricks in the white, which I thought looked very clean and like a bakery-ish. We've also got one of the Moschino rug in there as well, just to make it look fancy. And we've got the red and black as well, which is quite a theme that we're going on there. So you'd probably have to pay like 100 quid for a cake in there, which is probably pretty accurate. Next door, however, is a lovely little local independent bookstore. So I went in and grabbed all the like books that come as like little display versions, which I don't know why we can't have these in the normal thing, because they are super cool, especially if you're making bookshops and stuff like that. I suppose not everyone's making bookshops, that's probably why we don't have them, but they are really fun to use as like the thing, like book displays in the shop and in the window as well. So use some coffee tables to put in the window so we can display all the books, and then we've got the big bookcases to have all the other different sections that we have in the store, all the fiction, non-fiction, and then I thought it'd be nice to have a kids section as well, because obviously you have to have a section that's appropriate for them. They can't be going into the romantic novel section and having a look around there. So we've got a kids bit at the back. I put in some of the cushions and made a little reading area, so it's kind of a nice community thing. You kind of imagine that they promote local authors and stuff, which is something that would be really cool if you went into the writing career and was actually on the author thing. You could actually have like a book launch instead of just publishing your book. That'd be quite fun. Getting all the Sims in your local area to like come and buy your book and tell them why they should buy your book. That'd be super fun. You should do an expansion on that. And super exciting news, because I watched the Max's Monthly the other day, and we are able finally to make L-shaped and different stairs, which I'm so excited about, because some builds I'm just like, I want a certain type of staircase, and we can stack them as well, and you can shift them out. It looks super awesome. So if you haven't seen Max's Monthly this month, definitely go check it out. We're also getting some Muslim inspired stuff as well, which is super awesome, because the more people represented in the game, the better, and more diversity obviously helps in the real world as well, hopefully, for other people to understand other people instead of just judging them. So it'll be super exciting to see what comes in the free anniversary update that we're getting. I think this week. I think it's this week. So that'll be super exciting, because we get some build stuff as well. So that'd be cool. want to build another Middle Eastern type of build because I do like doing that style. In our end shop here, we have got a little fashion boutique using all the Moschino stuff, which was super fun to build. I kind of set all the like rails of clothes as the like display clothes, so they're the ones, the pieces that you can buy. You can imagine that it's super overpriced in here as well. So we've got a little area for if you're waiting for your personal shopper to come help you, or if you're waiting for your friend in the changing room. So we've got a nice chill out area and using the split wall as well. Before we go proper industrial in here as well. So we've got a metal floor and we've got some painted over bricks, and kind of just using all the fun objects that come in the pack, and using, because we got the medium height walls as well, could use the light fixture as well. So that was fun, and using it as like a centerpiece over some of the clothes that I put in the middle. Some of them are from the laundry day stuff, and some of them is just the normal like object that we get. We thought it quite fun in the change room and outside to have use the glowing mirrors and use it as pink as well, because I'm kind of using pink as like an accent color in here and using everything else as like pretty monotone to kind of keep it in a fashion style, but it's very very minimalistic and very like trying to be expensive looking, and using the big wall light as well as a nice feature. Also put in some of the shoe racks as well, because I noticed there wasn't many shoes. There's a couple on the actual rack rails themselves, but I thought it'd be quite nice to have some expensive shoes about the place as well, just to add an extra little bit as well. I don't know how you'd pay in the shop for for any of this stuff, because there isn't a register. Perhaps they just whip out their slablet and you pay like that. But I think it's a pretty fun little shop. There's a few magazines as well on the table so you can read and stuff like that. So I did very much enjoy making that little shop. It's not something I normally make in The Sims, so it's always fun to do that sort of thing. Here, this is opposite our boulangerie. We have a flower shop, so I've gone in, grabbed some of the flower arrangements and put them in the window, using some more rustic tables in here as well, just because it's a hands-on sort of shop. We've got the cats and dogs like round table as well, that's using some more like rustic found materials, so it kind of fits the theme. Going in using some of the normal plants as well about the place, just to get a bit more variety in here as well. I don't know whether you can set any of these for sale if you wanted to set it as an actual working shop, but I thought it'd be quite nice to have some wreaths on the back wall as well, because you kind of go into these shops at like Christmas time or in the autumn or something like that to get your festive wreath, especially as we have a few different ones in the game as well, so you could probably sell those as festive sort of stuff. I don't know what was going on with the lighting on that wall, but it was slightly strange, and put one of the little wall hanging things, like succulent things on there, just to do a few different plants. And we also got a table with a laptop in, kind of as their little work desk, a fan as well, just to keep it cool. And using some of the wall decals as well, just to make it look as though it's got some sort of branding to it. I thought it'd be quite nice to put some blinds in there as well, just to make it as though you could actually close the shop once you're finished. And it's quite nice and light in here as well, because we're using some white flooring and some white walls as well, but I've used some stone on the outside ones just to bring bring some extra texture in, because it could be a bit weird if everything in there was just like pure white. But it does make all the flowers sort of pop against the walls. So in this shop next to it we have a hairdressers, which is not the most functional thing in The Sims, but then I remembered after I'd built it that we actually do have something functional in The Sims, and so I added in the little hair thing from, I think, Get Famous. So you can actually go in there and change your Sims' hair and makeup and stuff. So it is technically a functioning hairdressers, which is surprising for The Sims. I was I was like shook when I remembered that you could actually do that. So I've used one of the Moschino wallpapers, but in like a really Larry combination. But I thought it'd be kind of a trendy upmarket hair salon and makeup place. So we've got some different versions of chairs. This bit back here is where all the washing stations are, so I put some sinks behind the chairs. You can imagine that they look the most like reclining chairs that give you like a nice good back massage as well while you're having your hair done. So you turn the sinks around to make them look as though they're the basin ones, and I've got a sink at the back. And then I was trying to find things that I could actually use as sort of hair stuff, because we don't really have too much of that stuff in the games. We've got a few like magazines about, and the bits that we do have, like a few different towels and stuff about the place and bottles, and I thought it'd be quite nice to have a little place to have all the gowns and stuff that they normally put you in to protect your clothing. And I use one of the laundry day bottles as like cleaning products. So imagine that's their bleach that they use to dye people's hair. I've also put a few of the products in as well, but changed it to a different colour to make it look as though they like sell shampoos that they use and stuff like that. It always annoys me when you go into hairdressers that when they've done your hair or whatever, they like put the bottles next to you. They're like, I used this today, or I used this on your hair. This costs like 50 quid. Would you like to buy it? And you're just like, no, no, thank you. I already have some stuff in there, guys. You're just like, no, please stop. I'm already paying like about that much for a flipping haircut, because it is ridiculous to get a haircut. Also made it super bright in here as well, because it always is, and it's super clean. We've got little footstools as well, so the hairdresser can sit down and cut your hair, even though it's not really a thing that they do. But they normally have those chairs that go up and down and stuff, which we don't really have in The Sims. So we can pretend we play The Sims. We hopefully have imaginations. So upstairs we have a little card shop. So you can imagine this is your paper chase or your other generic card shop that you have about the place. And I kind of thought, because there's not actually that many cards and stuff, I kind of made it into more of like a general paper place. Paper place. That's the rival Sims brand to Paper Chase is the Paper Place. Oh, so bad. At first I thought I was going to put loads of like posters up and they'd like sell other like graphic posters and all sorts of stuff like that, but then I was like, no, we have paper stuff. And I was like trying to think where they were, because I knew we got loads of stuff in Seasons that was all like paper related things. So I put a few decoration boxes in. We've got some crackers as well, so if you want to just set it up as a little paper shop, then you could set some of the stuff for sale. Also remembered the garlands and stuff that we got from the holiday stuff. So I thought some of it was in the holiday stuff, but I was like, no, sure it was in Season. So grabbed a load of the actual stuff. Use that freezer bunny as well as the little shop logo, because I thought it was funny how it was wrapped up in paper. It was pretty accurate to how busy this shop is. But we got some paper hats and some I think that little top hat as well, and then I cover this wall in a few other paper decorations. Also, I'm trying to make sure it wasn't all like Christmas colours. There were actually a few other colours about the place, just to make it look as though it's a seasonal, not too seasonal shop, and that it actually does sell for all the seasons rather than just selling for Christmas. I actually saw some Christmas cards the other day, and I was just like, it's not even, it's just September. Can we stop stop selling Christmas cards this early? Because literally no one is thinking about Christmas, especially when it's Halloween first. So here is our little tour. We will be able to see a little bit better all the rooms and stuff. I actually left the last bottom shop kind of boarded up as though it's ready for someone to move in. So if you're looking, you could download this and build something yourself. You can see all the extra things that I've added about the place as well as I went through live edit objects. So we've got loads of cupcakes and like bags of stuff on the wall, and we've got a few present boxes as well to show like you buy it for a special gift. And you can see a few of the places that I didn't get to show you because I thought the video would be ridiculously long if I included all the little ones that we have about the place. So this is our flower shop. We can see a little bit better as well now that it's not a strange angle. I thought this build would be quite fun to have a little tour around because the shops are so like tiny. You don't really get a good perspective when you're trying to build from higher up. So this is our little boutique hair salon. So we've got our little reception desk, we've got our little seats, and we've now got our makeup hair stand as well, so you can actually go in and change the Sims hair, and our little washing station, and we have our little aquarium in there as well because that is such a hair salon thing to do. We've also got a seat at the front as well, so you can sit and wait for when the hairdresser is ready for you. Then over here into our bookstore, so you can see all the books and little desks, so you can buy your books and look up to see if they've got them in stock as well. Our little kids area at the back, and a few seats and stuff about the place, so you can sit down and spend way too long in there. I know there's one shop that I worked in and people would come in for like 2 to 3 hours just to sit and read books, and you're just like, we clearly had nothing better to do, which is really sad, but I suppose they're out and about. This is our little fashion boutique, so you can see all the waiting area, the little changing room, the little rack so you can hang the clothes up while you're getting changed and stuff, and having a look at all the expensive Sims clothes that you can't afford but you wish you could. And then we've got a little boarded up shop as well, so it's got a few different like bookshelves and tables and stuff ready if you wanted to make your own little shop, if there's something that I've forgotten that you can make, or if you have a pack that I don't have that you can make something cool. In here we've got our karaoke rooms, so they are very bright and loud and have the little cocktail things in, so your Sims can have some fun nighttime activities as well. So it's a very multifunctional lot. In here we have our music shop, so we have some violins, we have microphones, keyboards, amps, guitars, and even an organ as well. I was debating whether to put the organ in or the grand piano, but I thought the organ's a little bit thinner than the grand piano. It takes up a little bit less space. Then we've got our card shop, the paper store next door with all your paper crafty needs. Then we'll head over to the other side, and you can ignore the fact that there's no ceiling above the roof. In here we have a little seedy dark bar that's at the top here, so you can come in and have a drink at night. There's a little corner seat and a few bits and bobs, some older stuff up here just for some evening activities. Next door to that we have a little art gallery, so you can buy some expensive paintings. There's a very different contrast between like the darkness and the white walls in here, so we've got some very fancy looking paintings and expensive stuff for your Sims to buy, which is probably the easiest to turn into a retailer out of all of them. And then in here we have our yoga studio, of course. We need to come in and do our wellness, and we've got a few mats and a little fridge as well. So that is all our little rooms. We head down the steps. There's two different ways to get up, obviously, because the two different sides aren't connected. And round the corner we have a little fountain and seating area as well, a green space. But there's not too much stuff around this side, a few drain pipes and stuff like that. I've made sure to add in some trees and some bins as well, so the Sims can actually like put rubbish away. Got a few hedges and stuff around this side, and then at the back here we have a little delivery section and some bins and sort of utility stuff around the back, so they can get stuff in. But that is our little build tour, and we'll have a few screenshots as well just to see the different layouts. So I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to give it a like, and if you'd like to see any more builds, then feel free to subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.